Producers in New York sit down and say, we want to play Tempe. We want to play the Valley of the Sun. We want to play the Phoenix metropolitan area because ASU Gammage has a dedicated Broadway audience that's interested in everything from the classics to what's brand new on Broadway.
ASU Gammage puts Broadway in your backyard this season with Broadway's hottest shows at an amazing value for season ticket holders. The 2011-2012 season opens with a classic. More than 50 years ago, one musical changed theater forever. Now it's back, mesmerizing audiences once again. From the first note to the final breath, West Side Story is a wonderful love story that remains as powerful, poignant, and timely as ever. The new Broadway cast album of West Side Story won the 2010 Grammy Award for Best Musical Show Album.
It's beautiful and it's perfect, and the cast is young and vibrant, and it's, you know, everything from When You're a Jet to Tonight.
Take one.
Blue Man Group is best known for its wildly popular theatrical shows and concerts which combine music, comedy, and multimedia theatrics to produce a totally unique form of entertainment. Although it's impossible to describe, people of all ages agree that Blue Man Group's show is an intensely exciting and outrageous experience that leaves the entire audience in a blissful, euphoric state. With no spoken language, Blue Man Group is perfect for people of all ages, languages, and cultures. This unique theatrical experience is a form of entertainment like nothing else, guaranteed to be an outing you will never forget.
When I say that we are the #1 Broadway house because of our community, something like Blue Man Group shoots us right to the top. It is a fun, fabulous night for everyone. Everyone will love Blue Man Group.
Direct from Broadway, the classic holiday movie White Christmas comes to stage at last.
White Christmas was written here by Irving Berlin, poolside at the Biltmore. And he in fact said to his secretary, grab my pen, I have just made the best song, written the best song of all time, White Christmas.
This brand new musical shines with classic Irving Berlin hits like Blue Skies, How Deep is the Ocean, and of course, the unforgettable title song, White Christmas.
And may all your Christmases be white.
Irving Berlin's White Christmas tells the story of two buddies putting on a show in a magical Vermont inn and finding their perfect mates in the process. Full of dancing, laughter, and some of the greatest songs ever written, Irving Berlin's White Christmas promises a merry and bright theatrical experience for the whole family.
It's just puts us in the holiday spirit and harkens us back to a time when all we really had to think about doing was making snowmen and snow angels. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful musical.
A stunning reinvention produced by Lincoln Center Theater, South Pacific swept the 2008 Tony Awards, winning 7 honors, including Best Musical Revival and Best Director. Set on a tropical island during World War II, the musical tells the sweeping romantic story of 2 couples and how their happiness is threatened by the realities of war and by their own prejudices, and it includes parts of the original story that were cut from the 1949 production.
Rodgers and Hammerstein were risk takers. People sometimes don't realize that because since their work has become part of the American fabric, in some ways they're taken for granted, but nothing shows the risks that they took as cleanly and clearly as South Pacific.
This musical very seriously deals with the issue of race and how we work. What people don't know about World War II is we had very, very segregated Navy and Army, and that the American military had a lot of deep racism in it, and Americans, very much at their core at that time, were not a mixed culture, had not taken the kind of steps we know now. And they were very brave in putting the issue of color into the musical.
The beloved score's songs include Some Enchanted Evening and I'm Gonna Wash That Man Right Out of My Hair.
The music is extraordinary, and you know, one song after another just washes over you, and I think people are reminded of the high quality of the shows that were written by Rodgers and Hammerstein, and South Pacific in particular, and then put in stellar, first-rate theater hands. All it does is just rise higher than anybody could have thought, and I'm a very big fan of this production.
The same producers who brought us Spring Awakening now bring us American Idiot.
Don't wanna be an American idiot. Don't want a nation under the new media. Hey, can you hear the sound of hysteria?
In 2004, Green Day released American Idiot and promptly revolutionized rock music. Hailed by Time magazine as a masterpiece, the album launched the band into superstardom, selling over 12 million copies and winning the Grammy for Rock Album of the Year. Meanwhile, on Broadway, Tony Award-winning director Michael Mayer assembled one of the most innovative teams in theater to join with Green Day to bring American Idiot to the stage.
The idea of theatricalizing this album came to me just from listening to it over and over again and hearing a very strong emotional narrative. It was the story of American youth looking to improve their lives. And I felt like that's just such a great coming-of-age story.
I was able to hear a really intense, beautiful story right away. There's so much here that feels like it's new and fresh and pushing the boundaries that I think that when all is said and done, American Idiot is going to have a very important place in this rich art form of musical theater.
We've always thought that somehow there should be some sort of stage version because that's what we were thinking in our heads. You know, the musical arrangements that Tom Kitt did. You know, I mean, it's amazing, and their energy is just inspiring.
Television dreams of tomorrow. We're not the ones that tomorrow. For nothing not to or you.
Open your eyes. You have arrived at La Cage. Oh,
Lacage tells the story of the owner of a glitzy nightclub in lovely Saint-Tropez. Lacage is a tuneful and touching tale of one family's struggle to stay together, stay fabulous, and, above all, stay true to themselves, with a glorious score of hummable melodies.
Sometimes sweet and sometimes bitter face life with a little rust and lots of bitter.
Those of us who remember Lacage, it's actually had 3 different Lacage productions on Broadway. This is the production with Kelsey Grammer and Douglas Hodge starred in it on Broadway. It is a very different Lacage. What we also have is a really lovely, beautiful, romantic love story, and it's a much more intimate Lacage. And you really get an understanding of what happens in that fabulous nightclub.
It is a great piece. It's a piece about tolerance, and no one leaves the theatre less tolerant.
Bonsoir, Tempe. Come see me, George Hamilton, in the Tony Award-winning new production of La Cage aux Folles. La Cage aux Folles plays from May 15th through the 20th at ASU Gammage. See you all there.
See you later, alligator.
Hello, Tempe. I'm Johnny Cash.
And I'm Jerry Lee Lewis from the cast of $1 Million Quartet.
Our tour is going to be coming to ASU Gammage, so come out and join us for a rockin' good time.
What do you have to say about that, Elvis?
Well, I guess I'd have to say thank you. Thank you very much.
$1 Million Quartet is essentially a staged recreation of an actual event at Sun Studios, December 4th, 1956. And what was a glorified jam session has become a story where you get to take a very intimate look into not only the lives of these 4 legends, but the beginning of rock and roll music and the man who gave this to the world, Sam Phillips.
And they just sang a bunch of songs. They jammed the way musicians do.
The show kind of goes off into everyone's individual story, and you get to know a little bit about where they came from, the road that took them to Sun Records and brought them together, and then a little bit about where they're going in the future.
And along the way, they just encountered a lot of humor, a little hardship, and they made some pretty good music.
It's kind of like a family, where Sam's the dad, and Johnny is the oldest son who's like breaking away, and Carl's the second son who's sort of misunderstood and, you know, can't get a break. And Elvis is the third son who's sort of the golden child that all the great stuff happens to. Of course, the baby is Jerry Lee, who's a pain in the ass. That family dynamic always sort of made sense for me in this show.
Down by the riverside, it goes dirty. War no more.
Because they're not even your standard musical theater audience members that are just so thoroughly entertained, and they walk away going, oh my gosh, that was so amazing.
All over the United States, that interest is still there, you know, and it's going to be very exciting. There's not very many shows like this that appeals to all walks of life and ages.
And by the end of the night, they're all on their feet, they're all clapping, some of them are dancing in the aisles, twisting, shaking, and having a great time.
This show is kind of designed for that. You know, it's not really designed for people to sit there with their hands folded in their laps.
It's very raw, and it's very intimate, and you really get to see a really different side to each one of these people.
I think this story is a story that will speak to you and encourage you and inspire you all at the same time.
But no matter, you know, whether it's a busload of high school kids or a bus of senior citizens or a bunch of college kids on a Saturday night, by the end of the show, everyone's on their feet, everyone's clapping, everyone's having a good time.
This courageous great balls of fire.
Back with new surprises, Stomp is explosive, provocative, sophisticated, sexy, and utterly unique, and it appeals to audiences of all ages. The international percussion sensation has garnered an armful of awards and rave reviews and has appeared on numerous national television shows. The 8-member troupe uses everything but conventional percussion instruments, matchboxes, wooden poles, brooms, garbage cans, lighters, hubcaps, and they fill the stage with magnificent rhythms. See what the noise is all about. Back for a third time to ASU Gammage by popular demand.
Popular, I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts, you'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, 'cause you've got an awfully long way to go.
Entertainment Weekly calls Wicked the best musical of the decade. Winner of 35 major awards, including a Grammy and 3 Tonys, Wicked is Broadway's biggest blockbuster, a cultural phenomenon.
And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. I hope you're happy. The neighbor, she's wicked. Get her. Bring no one knows the wicked, so we got to bring her
The last time we had Wicked, it sold out in less than 7 minutes. So be prepared. Be prepared to come on board as a subscriber so you get first crack at those tickets.
Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. It's been a
Hear the music exactly as it happened and in what the critics are calling a twist and shout extravaganza and the next best thing to seeing the Beatles. From Ed Sullivan to Abbey Road, Rain, a tribute to the Beatles. Direct from Broadway, Rain performs the full range of the Beatles' discography live on stage, including the most complex and challenging songs that the Beatles themselves recorded in the studio but never performed for an audience. Together longer than the Beatles, Rain has mastered every song, gesture, and nuance of the legendary foursome, delivering a totally live, note-for-note performance in this multimedia concert. It is as infectious as it is transporting.
When I'm 64, thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me. Hey Jude.
From the early hits to later classics, this adoring tribute will take you back to a time when all you needed was love and a little help from your friends.
As a Gammage Broadway season ticket holder, you're able to get up to 30% of discount off of individual tickets, and you get first notice of special events, special engagements, and any other discounts we might have for activities that happen here at Gammage. You know what's really wonderful is there's a business to the arts and there's an art to business. And our corporate partners are artists themselves, and they understand how important it is to make a commitment to a community beyond the individual work that they do. And they do that through us. They know that through us, their corporate community good can be reached with our outreach and education programs, with our teaching programs, with artists being able to extend their corporate mission further. Our individual donors are our Gammage VIPs, and those individuals understand what it means to have a great community. And great art and great community go hand in hand. Our 2011-2012 season is really about Broadway coming home. There's a great deal of classics, but they are classics that have been re-envisioned. But there's also new work which underscore the fact that musical theater is only one of 4 American art forms. So I really think our season for 2011 and 2012 is Broadway coming home.
So for date night, family time, or a great outing with your friends, come here to ASU Gammage and enjoy the show.